One Piece's greatest father-son duo is dropping in Starter Deck 22, so we gotta test them out. Remember to join us on TikTok if you're looking to get some One Piece pulls and chill vibes. If you've got daddy issues, like, comment, and subscribe.
Hey y'all, we are back at it. This time we are on the new Getting Ace, the new Starter Deck 22 leader. Honestly, this deck is a lot of fun, really interesting, has a lot of new mechanics to it, kind of new to the One Piece game. But with that being said, is it the strongest deck? If I'm gonna be completely honest, not really, not right now at least, just because I feel like it's lacking a couple cards. But let's go ahead and go over the deck and its profile, just so we can kind of get an understanding of like what we're dealing with here. So if you guys have ever seen the new leader, its ability is you may, on activate main, you may reveal one card with a type including Whitebeard Pirates from your hand, draw one card, and add the revealed card to the top of your deck. So it really helps out with cycling. If you're not seeing the pieces that you want really early on, then you know this will help kind of filter out your hand. Not just that, but a lot of the cards that work within this deck rely on revealing that top card. So you don't have to reveal that many cards if you really think about it, just because of the fact that we're going to be first placing a card on the top of our deck, which we're already revealing. And then from that point, we just keep revealing that card if we're using the different abilities. So pretty interesting, especially with how it works with the other cards in the deck. Let's go over with the first card here. We have Atmos. So we're revealing two cards within our hand, and then on play from that point you can bounce back a 4 cost or less. So pretty good card, really works well in tandem with Ace here. So this 5 cost Ace from OP08 is really good because we could play out our Atmos. So usually what happens is that on our 5 down turn, we will go ahead and reveal our Atmos, put it at the top of our deck. We'll then go ahead and play out our Ace. From that point, it will show that it is the Atmos that we played up there, and then we're able to bounce a card back. So then that point, we're not necessarily revealing anything in our hand that we aren't playing out that turn. So overall, pretty good. Another card that is from OP08 that we're using is the 10 drop Newgate. This card has saved me a bunch of times in a bunch of different matches, just because of the fact that they have to discard 2 cards when attacking if we're at 2 life or lower, once this card is played out. Kind of tough, especially going into Blackbeard, which kind of destroys this card. But because we kind of play more of a tempo swarm deck, you know, whether it be with our Ace or our 6th cost Jozu, since we're bouncing back cards, it puts us in a really good spot where we have a full board. We're swinging in, they have to use their cards to counter out, and then, you know, by the time that we play this Newgate, they don't have too many cards in hand. So we could be a little bit liberal with our life, just because in order for this on play to work, we need to be at 2 life. Let's see here. So I already mentioned that we play the Jozu. Jozu being a Whitebeard Pirate, obviously since we're doing a full Whitebeard package, works really well, especially when, you know, showing the top of deck or things like that. And of course, 6 cost bounce is really strong. There are very few cards that can interact with the 6 cost, Jozu being one of them. And yeah, honestly, just a really great card. Izo is going to be our searcher here. And kind of a new mechanic that they're kind of integrating into these 1 cost searchers is like on opponent attacks. So in this case, you may trash this character, draw 1 card, and then place 1 card to the bottom of your deck. So kind of filtering out your hand one more time. The next big baddie to come along in the deck is this 9 cost Newgate. I'm not sure when the best time to play it is, and the reason being is that we'll kind of get to it because of one of our cost events. But with that being said, this on play reveals the top card of your deck. If the card has Whitebeard Pirates in it, then you get to draw 2 cards, so one of them being the card that is at the top of your deck. So pretty good, especially if we're, you know, filtering out. And again, it shouldn't be an issue. It should always be Whitebeard Pirates because of the fact that we're running a full Whitebeard Pirate package. And the nice thing about this is that it has double attack. A lot of times with So the main problem I've been encountering is that there are a lot of low end blockers at the moment, and people can play out multiple blockers at a given time, which kind of nullifies this double attack. But with that being said, there is a card coming out in OP12 that helps this deck a lot, and I'll talk about that there at the end. So the next card in here is Squad, aka Squardo, or Squad, yeah. And it has a pretty cool ability. I don't know if this card is gonna stay in the deck just because of the fact that I like the 7 cost Jozu as well, and I could pull that up here. Give me 1 second. Jozu, not Josu, Jozu. But let's talk about Squad here first. So Squad reveals the top card of your deck. If it's a Whitebeard Pirate, which in this case it always will be, we get attach 1 Rested Dawn to our leader or characters. So it really helps a lot in swinging in. So if you have multiple of these out, I've had games in the past where I've had like 1 or 2 or out at a given time, you know, especially with one of our other cards, Whitey Bay. You know, our leader could technically be at like 9k without necessarily like having to dedicate any Dawn to him. So really good card. But like I mentioned, it might be nice to put in this Jozu just because we want a little bit more mid-range power. Because right now we're looking at, you know, our other Jozu to kind of like carry the weight. You know, our 5 cost ace is fine with 6k attack, but easily gotten rid of, whether it be with cost reduction, with power reduction. So those really annoying cards, or any sort of cards that can kind of reduce any parts of this card and remove it, it becomes really susceptible. Again, similarly with our Atmos, and then also with our Marco over here. So yeah, kind of easy to get rid of board, but having something like a Jozu that's 7 cost is a little bit tougher, and the player needs to allocate more resources to get rid of. Another card that we have here is this other ace from the starter deck. It is a vanilla, but it is a 2k, so kind of a nice card to have. We have another 2k here in Whitey Bay, but she also has a pretty good on-play ability. So you reveal 2 cards with the type Whitebeard from your hand, and then give your leader with a Whitebeard Pirate leader 2k power for the turn. So kind of playing back to what I was talking about with Squad, and then also Whitey Bay for like 3 Dawn, you know, or, you know, like previously if we have Squads and then, you know, Whitey Bay, then we could get our leader up relatively high to swing in. So really nice ability. This Marco is really nice because it kind of negates the removal effects. If we're willing to reveal the top card of our deck, or sorry, excuse me, if the character would be KO'd by your opponent's effects, you may trash 1 card from your hand. So not too bad. We do go -1 on hand, but with that being said, having a sticky body on board is really nice, especially into decks like Lucci. But the other, when attacking, is reveal the top card of your deck. If it has a Whitebeard Pirate in its type, then give this character 1000 power until the end of the opponent's turn. So essentially, since our entire deck is Whitebeard, we're always going to be able to use this effect, and not just that, but it extends until the end of our opponent's turn. So 6k on defense is really nice. Let's go and have a look at our events now. So I'm Whitebeard is probably the most pivotal card in this deck, especially, you know, when looking that we have 4 of each Whitebeard within our deck, the 10 cost and the 9 cost. This 8 cost event is really strong. So if your leader has a Whitebeard Pirate's type, play up to 1 Edward Newgate from your hand. Then you may add the top card of your life into your hand, or it could be the bottom card. If you did, give one of your leaders 2k power until the end of your turn. So on our 8 Dawn turn, we're able to play out a 10 cost or a 9 cost, or, you know, if we want to go on the defensive on our 10 Dawn turn, we could go ahead and play out the Whitebeard, you know, play out the 10 cost Newgate, and then still have room for our take back what you just said. So pretty good card. Not just that, but putting our leader at 7k makes it really difficult for opponents to go ahead and swing in on our leader, especially in those endgame moments where they have to allocate Dawn, and especially with like Newgate being out there taxing them for each swing, makes it really strong. But with that being said, it does get a little bit difficult trying to figure out when would be the best time to play this card. If you are low on hand size, it might not be the best to play out this card, or even on your 8 Dawn turn, it might not be the best to play out this card. So I'm still kind of trying to figure out the ebb and flow of when the best time to play this card is and what different conditions need to be met. So take back what you said is our counter here. It gives 4k power just because of the fact that we have a Whitebeard Pirates leader. So really nice. We're running 4 of these at the moment. Yeah, overall this deck's a lot of fun, and I could see the potential. And there is a card that is coming out in OP12 that allows us to play out one of our Whitebeard Pirates or one of our Newgates, and then from that point give it a rush. So having something like this 9-cost Newgate and swinging in with double attack makes it really strong. But right now the sim isn't updated for 12, so we are running with what we have at the moment, and this is what we have. Hopefully this deck becomes strong because I really like the leader ability. I like how unique the deck is. I like how it is homogeneous in the sense where it is only running Whitebeard Pirates, which I always think is really cool because it feels very on brand with like the character within the show, or canonical in that regard. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into the matches. Let's see how we do. Honestly, I'm not the best at this deck, but it is a lot of fun, and hopefully in the future it gets a lot stronger. Alright, we got our first game on Blackbeard, and we are on Blackbeard. We're on our first game on Whitebeard and Ace. Let's go ahead and mulligan this. This seems okay. Got pretty good top end here. We're going against the green purple Luffy, which in the EBO2 era that we're currently here in the US, yeah, it's looking pretty tough. But with that being said, hopefully, you know, here in OP11, we should be able to play some new characters such as Whitebeard and Ace. We'll go ahead and end turn there. This is going to be really helpful, especially since, since they're usually going to be at a higher cost. We'll do this. Let's see, we'll grab another Ace. We'll do this. Okay, cool. We'll stack on our leader, and then we should be able to swing at 9. We'll go ahead and enter in there. All right, this is when we're gonna start seeing the shenanigans. Oh no. Let's go ahead and use card action. Actually, we know Ace is up there. We'll go ahead and cancel. Result. All right, we got a lot of Whitebeards. Quite fitting. All right. So I think that We could do this. Send up our homie here, confirm. And then we'll go ahead and play this out. We will show that we have an ace and 2K. We'll bounce you back. We'll go ahead and reveal the top, confirm reveal. We'll toss it on here and swing the 7. We have pretty good tempo right now. We'll go ahead and end turn. And a decent amount of 2Ks, which I like to see. If they swing a 5, then we'll counter out of it. Okay, the Luffy Taro. Not bad, not bad. We're gonna be at 8 next turn. Putting up the leader at 6. We won't use it, and we'll go ahead and use one ace. Low. And they cost bump. Okay, that is perfectly fine. They don't have any Dawn up, which is pretty good for us. I honestly think that bouncing this back might not be a terrible idea. Well, let's see first. Let's use our leader ability. Toss up our ace. Alright, we got an Ezo. This is at 6. We'll go ahead. I think it's okay to pop this out. So we'll deploy here. Grab our Ezo. Bounce you back. We'll reveal that we have that ace. Oh no. Oh my gosh, I didn't do it. Okay, that's fine. We'll go ahead and attack 6. They counter out with 2K. Let's go ahead. Attack 6. And we'll attack one more 6. Alright, we'll go ahead and end turn there. Their hand size is getting pretty nuts, but I think that's fine. Alright, to play out the Luffy, they're going to be returning some Dawn here. Let's see, are they going to be attacking to life? Because if not, then we should be okay. Let's go ahead and counter out here. Alright, they play out a blocker. Interesting. So we could go ahead and attack 7 here. We'll attack another 6. We have no rested Dawn. That's why. Oh my gosh, I'm tweaking. It's okay. Let's see. So I think the move is still. We go ahead and play this. Actually, let's go ahead and play this out.
Onepiece.
Oh, please give up. Oh, they were pretty brave. And no blockers. But I guess if they just kept everything up, wouldn't have been too bad. Alright, GG. Okay, we're going against a Robin here. We'll go first. This is a pretty good hand. We'll go ahead and keep. Play this out. Honestly, I think maybe a 2k would be good here. Or we should start setting up for our Whitebeards. I think Whitebeard's fine. We'll go ahead and enter in there. We're not too afraid of just taking life here. Alright. I think the move is we just go ahead and swing high here. But first, let's do this. Okay. Got the Jozu. We'll swing 8. Alright, they get out a blocker. We'll go ahead and enter in there. The blocker is going to be fine. We'll resolve this one. It's unfortunate that we don't get to keep them, but it's fine. Alright, so let's go ahead and do this. We'll toss you up. We'll go ahead and play you out. And we will show that we have this and the Jozu. Bounce you back. We'll go ahead and swing the 5. Alright, we'll enter in there. They're at 7 Dawn, so hopefully they don't. Okay, let's see. Do we want to get out of this? No, we'll resolve it. We lost another Marco. Pay out 2 blockers. That's fine. So I think that we can go ahead and do this. And then we'll play out our squad. We'll show that we have a Squardo up there. Attack 6. We'll attack 5. And let's see what they do here. Okay, they get rid of the Yamato. We'll go ahead and attack in the 6, which they block. Okay, I think we're in a decent spot here. We're just about ready to put out our new gates. We will counter out of this one. Okay. So they're going to be pretty aggressively trying to get out of swings here. So we'll do 5. And counter out. We could do our play now.
One Piece wa jitsuzai suru.
We'll do this. And then we will toss it on here. Swing 8. And swing another 8. Okay, we'll go ahead and enter in there. We might be in trouble here. Okay, Big Mom. If they just swung in there, they would have won. We'll counter out here. 1. Are they willing to give up the cards? We'll resolve it. Alright, first we'll attack in the 12. They have to gum here. And they take, which means that this should be game here. 15. GG. Not bad. Yeah, I feel like this card really helps out the deck. This is the OP08 Whitebeard. Just to kind of slow things down so you could do things like do the double attack with your other Whitebeard, the 9-cost one that drops in the set. Or just in general, like kind of slowing down their pace, especially if they're going low on hand because we're able to swarm early. Makes things pretty nice. All right, on to the next. Okay, it's purple Luffy time again. We'll go ahead and keep. This isn't the best hand, but it's fine. We'll go ahead and do this. We'll go ahead and play you out. We'll grab ourselves. Yeah, I think this is fine. And we'll go ahead and enter in there. All right, they go ahead and ramp. You won't use it or resolve it. Okay, so I don't want to return this card per se. Let's go ahead and do a bit of a reveal. Do this. Okay. Let's go ahead and attack in the 5. Deploy here. We'll not use it. We'll end turn. We will counter out 1 here. All right, they play out the blocker. They're at 9 Dawn. So we'll go ahead and attack in 5 first. We'll attack in another 5. We'll stack here. Yep, block. We will go ahead and play this out. Onto you back. And then we'll choose 0 targets. End turn there. Gonna be at 8 next turn. We'll counter out 1. See what they put out for 10. We'll resolve that one. Maybe Big Mom. Yep. That's fine. And then one here, we'll resolve that one. All right, they restand. So I think that we'll go ahead and play out our Whitebeard. We'll take our top life. We'll go ahead and choose you. Confirm reveal. And we'll go ahead and attack 7. Cool. We'll go ahead and end turn there. We have a lot of counter. Not the most amount of counter, but we have counter. We can go ahead and counter out of this one. We'll resolve that one. We'll use trigger. Yeah, we'll use trigger. Oh, interesting. And then they can restand these. ahead and attack here. We'll attack in the double attack. I receive it.
One Piece は実在する
And we'll go ahead and enter in there. Alright, they have a lot of ways to attack in. I think we're pretty much done over here. I've gone kind of quiet because I thought I was going to lose. But we might be able to win here, actually. Depending if they try and swing into our Whitebeard here. Let's see. Yeah, they're debating. They're debating right now. Okay, so they did 3 up. $11. Gum. I take. Let's see. 2, 3, 4. I mean, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We get the gum. We still need a decent amount to get out. They're gonna take. There it is. Yeah, they should have went for the block there. But GG. Oh my gosh, I definitely thought I lost there. They made a critical error there at the end, but luckily we were able to establish this Whitebeard, which again taxed them for 2 cards, bring them down pretty low, getting rid of a lot of their counter, which made things look pretty solid for us. But yeah, GG. Back to the main we go. Okay. We'll go ahead and keep this hand. Play out the Squardo. I think it's okay to show that we have an Atmos. We'll play out another Squardo and end turn there. They do a search. Another search. They draw the big buggy, tracking the Mihawk. They swing 6. We're gonna resolve that one. So I think it's okay to go ahead and do this. Cancel. Okay. Got nothing to put out with the and then we'll go ahead and attack the 7 and turn there. Looks like we're just gonna be stalling out until we get to the end game here. Alright, the buggy and the Mihawk. It's fine. Go ahead and do this. And then tag in the 8. One turn there. I'm assuming we're going to be at least eating 1 here. Okay. We'll counter onto that one. And we'll resolve that one. So these can attack, which is kind of a problem, right? Okay. And we will do this. We will play over you.
One Piece は実在する。
Jeez Louise, we're in trouble. Let's see, we'll do this. All right, we will enter in there. Oh, it's gonna be a little nuts. Going to be a little nuts here. Let's go. Let's fucking go. We did it, y'all. All right, let's go ahead and attack in the 12. You guessed it, another 12. And yes, that is right. Bro, what the heck was that? Oh, felt pretty good. Thank God for the 10 cost Whitebeard, am I right? Holy smokes. And I thought we were getting pretty bricked up. And honestly, so going into this matchup, I kind of thought that it might be a little bit of a difficult matchup just because of the fact that our primary swarm is a 5 cost and multiple 4 costs. So things like Marco, things like Atmos, and then also this guy right here, King Du, can't really swing in because of the fact that they have this buggy and we don't have any sort of removal that can interact with like a 7 cost. So yeah, I was a little worried about it, but with that being said, I think overall we played it as best as we could, and I had a feeling that they were just gonna try and swing big there at the end, which is why we were holding on to these take back what you said. But yeah, overall pretty good. Oh, thank God. GG, my guy.